Hello and good evening to the good people and to the bad people, friends and enemies, and a very hearty and inviting boom shakalaka to all of you out there. I am Chris Base. This continuing specials that we're having going on here on Baseline. It's a continuing effort to raise money for Corey, who was Lee Michaels' son. We got the word about this a few weeks ago, well, a few months ago, when we heard the news about Corey getting into a unfortunate car accident back in April, and had to require multiple surgeries and multiple skin grafts during that time, and to see the recovery that he has done has been tremendous. So we continue with the baseline special, Corey's Care, a journey to recovery during this time. I call the charity cast. So if you do this in real time, it will definitely be appreciated. So again, the GoFundMe page, go to GoFundMe.com and search for Lee Michaels, and Lee will join us in the hour here. The goal right now is to raise $75,000. Right now we're at 7,241 at this stage of the game. So of course, the increase is getting there. We appreciate everything that you do to donate. Anything you can to donate, we'll definitely take it. It's definitely needed to continue the medical care that Corey needs. Let's see. And Friday greetings to you, Barbara Jean. How you doing? Thank you for being here. See, and hey there to the biscuit of cheese. Barbara Jean, thank you for being here. Hello, King Base, my fellow base heads. This Friday edition of Baseline. Yeah, thank you, King Omar. I said before, the Friday edition is dedicated to Lee Michaels' son, Corey, as we continue to raise money throughout the time that we need. So, again, if you have some ducats, some spawn dulex, some dead presidents, I know times are tough. I understand times are tough. But I think in this situation, it's great to give. And please do so. So we continue to have your donations intact. Please come on in and make a donation. Again, GoFundMe.com. Search for Lee Michaels, search his name, and then go from there. And then donate what you can. So again, it could be you can have it on there on the line because some people put their names and how much they donated. Some people could do that, or you can do it anonymously. But as long as you do it, is the main thing. That's the main thing. So, like I told you, 20 past the hour. That's my radio background. 20 past the hour. Lee Michaels will join us and give us an update on what's going on with Corey. I've given the updates on social media from time to time, but again, it's a continuing cause to make things easier when you come to financial situations. And like anything else, I think that when you break down how life is, there are no mistakes when it comes to God. If you believe in God, and it's out of the realm of our control, the sphere of our minds try to understand, and some of us do, some of us don't. We try to wrap our minds around things, but there's a reason for everything that happens in our lives, and this is one of them. And I remember, and I'll share this with Lee when he gets on here, how he would say, my baby boy. And that touched me because as a parent myself, when your children grow up and they become adults and take on the world themselves, as parents, of course, we still want them to be fine, want them to be okay, want them to be safe. Because again, they're on their own and spreading their own wings. As a parent, you just want what's best. So there you go. Um, Part of the reason, well, I say the whole reason, when I got the word from Lee about what had happened to Corey, the first thing came to my mind, I said this before, was how can I not help this man? And so when you're Lee Michaels, who's just a hell of a guy, stone cold genius, has helped thousands of people, thousands, and I'm not exaggerating. In my mind, I would say it's thousands, or maybe the high hundreds. You'll be specific about it, but it goes a long way. Now, I'm not naming any names because that's not my thing from time to time. But in this situation, there are a lot of people out there who just take, 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 and don't give, give, give. And I hope they know who they are. Maybe they don't. And some people, when you help them, they don't want anything in return. Like they just appreciate lending a helping hand. But when the helper needs help, then that's when we should have a clarion call to make it happen. Going back to Lee, has many people he has helped over time, and I, for one, I'm one of them. Absolutely, it's not in everybody's heart to give because some people don't have it in themselves to do it in the first place. It's, they want to take, 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 and that's who they are. That's how they operate. Barbara Jean, I love me some Uncle Lee. Yeah, she does, and I love some Uncle Lee too. He has become the guru for me over time, which is the nickname I have for Lee. And as I was teaching talk radio at one point to my students at Illinois Media School, even before that, when I was teaching talk radio at Columbia College Chicago, never say never. Never say never. Because life will surprise you and it always will. Like I said before, I never thought I would meet Lee Michaels because by the time I got into radio, he had way past left Chicago and was doing other things. And had not been for Barbara Jean, I never would have met Lee Michaels. I never forget that. I remember Lee at the time was in Florida. I want to say Hollywood, Florida. I could be wrong, but somewhere in Florida when we met online. And I remember Barbara Jean said he was fat and happy. And I met the man, and I was just in awe of the fact that I'm talking to Lee Michaels. And once I got past that, we were able to, of course, strike up conversations, relationship. And the man is my liege, my leader, and he has helped me on numerous occasions. For my own personal testimony, when I was at Urban Broadcast Media, that would not have put into play had not been for Lee Michaels. The reason why BaseLine was on UBM Talk as the then signature program was because of Lee. He put that into motion. So I never forgotten that at all. Yeah, Barbara, you had the heart emojis. Absolutely. Absolutely. And in any walk of life, you run into people who I don't know what their deal is, none of my business, because you just run into people who are just, okay, you assholes. That's in their nature. They get up, they stretch, they scratch, and they're assholes regardless of what they do. This is in their nature. They have no heart, they have no soul. I think that even if you was to exercise them, it still wouldn't be enough. And it's just really some screwed up people. But because their egos are who they are, and going back to my time in radio, because it's an ego-driven business, that's all you get. All the different egos going all over the place, and they don't think their crap smells, and they can't get through a door because they need DW-40 on the sides of their temples to get through the door because their head's so damn big, and things of that nature. So that happens. All walks of life. I'm referring to radio, and you meet people who are just cool in the gang. Once again, you wouldn't mind having a beer with them, going out for lunch or dinner, and you wouldn't mind hanging out with them. That's Lee beyond the conversation. To me, he's Michael Jordan of the industry. Changer, trendsetter, the whole nine. So I don't take my relationship with Lee Michaels for granted at all. So, as I said before on other charity casts, how can we not help this man? The clarion call has been sounded. We put the signal up in the air, and we must heed the call. We must. There is no ifs, ands, or big buts about it. Old Nike slogan: "Just do it. Just do it. Give what you can." Again, you see the information on the bottom. So again, the goal is $75,000. At now, we are at 7,241. So for all of you out there, if it's no more than $1, I know you hear all the time in certain fundraisers, and we mean it sincerely because it keep pushing the needle towards the goal. So if you didn't do well in math in school, uh, still we know that $1 is going to help get over to the next phase. Everything helps. So again, GoFundMe.com and check out and search Lee Michaels' name, type his name in there, and contribute what you can. No more than $1. I'm serious. $1. You remember Trading Places? The Dukes, the Duke brothers, the bet that they had, with Eddie Murphy and of course Dan Aykroyd, Winthrop, Dan Aykroyd, and Billy Ray Valentine, played by Eddie Murphy. What was the bet? How much was the bet for? $1. So in reality, take the $1 and put it to some good use. Donate what you can. What do you say, Omar? Mr. Michael's a fantastic guy. I enjoyed his work very much, and his son still in my prayers. Thank you. I'm sure absolutely they would definitely appreciate that, Omar. Thank you for the kind words. So to continue, of course, in real time to really get the message out there, we're going to do this once a month since we started, and I think that like anything else, it becomes habit forming. I hope it becomes habit forming. So you could donate more than once, obviously. So once again, we know the times are tough. We're living in strange days. The economy is decent, but people are still hurting, and that's understandable. And again, I think that as a nation and really as communities, we need to look at each other more inward now than anything else. We need to know who our neighbors are. We need to know who's down the block or who's next door and stop being strangers. Strength in numbers. So that's what we need. In this situation, raising money, strength in numbers. And that's where you come in. That's when you're able to be a part of something that could be very, very special. Every little bit helps. We all can't do it by ourselves. We need help. And that takes a lot with certain people too, because a lot people have a lot of pride and they feel that they can do things on their own, and they can. Nobody's disputing that. But at times, even people who are prideful need to put to the side to help others. And sometimes that's not easy to do. There was a parallel to television. There was an old episode of the Good times when Malona was becoming the security for this department store. And so when the people that was he was working with, the one lady came in and was like, "Yeah, Malona, I was watching you," because she had to watch the uh, two-way mirror and people would be in the dressing room to see if they were stealing merchandise. So the lady comes in and she was like, "Yeah, I've been watching you, Malone." So okay, the watchers are being watched, and then the head supervisor came in and was watching Malone's supervisor. So Malone said, the watchers are being watched." So in this situation, someone like Lee Michaels who helps people, the helper needs help. The great helper needs help, and again, your dollars contribute to that. It does. I guarantee you. Um, Relationships are always funny, eclectic, different, depending on your outcome and lens. And with Lee, it's just been continuing knowledge fest for me. At the times we talk, I sit back and listen to me as always the pupil, and I listen and I gauge and I ask questions, like lean into what the conversation is and get his take on things. There's so much wealth of knowledge he has, so much to still contribute to even today. You sit back and you learn. I know and my man, my man said from Coming to America, King Jeffrey Joffre. I know I do. Yeah, I know I do when it comes to talking with Lee. So we continue to push the needle and to get to the goal of $75,000. Every little bit helps. It does. Just staying a fact. And you contribute what you can. If you can contribute more than one time, it's fantastic. The first time is fantastic, and multiple times also fantastic to keep pushing that time. To keep pushing that time. To contribute, to help. One day you look back and say, I knew where I was when I contributed to this. It's possible. Take a look at life in general when you have flashbacks of what you have done and how you help people and who you are as a human being. There's a lot to be said about that. So again, to hammer the cause, it just has to happen. It just has to happen. So again, the power of you, it doesn't take much. The power of one. That's all. The power of one, and that's you. I always heard the term "give to it hurts." I don't want you to be in pain. You can give, give. You can give, but I don't want you to be in pain. It's like, yeah, I remember. Give to it hurts. No, no, no pain. No pain here. But still, you can give as much as you can, and of course, that's why we're here. Yeah, make sure you do that. Um, for me, it's one of those things where you have someone in your life that is always reliable. Now, I don't know about you. Not too many people you can hang your hat on that. If you're blessed to have, say, excuse me, more than one or two people, then you're good. All you need is one. But if you're blessed to have more than one that you can rely on, that you love them, they love you back, and that's a fact. But if you're fortunate to have people that you can rely on, that's a good thing. So, having said that, Lee Michaels is in that category. He's always reliable. If I have an issue, I know he's going to solve it. If I have a question, I know he's going to answer it. Lee Michaels is that dude. Always has been, always will be. And again, in my mind, I just, hey, there's no reason not to help him. And don't get me wrong, not everybody can do it. I know once again, people are going through their own lives and don't need to stray from the fact of where they are. They're in their own thing. But maybe it would dawn on them, and maybe it won't, that maybe if you do something out of the realm of your own possibilities, your own way to kind of make, I wouldn't say amends, but try to do things differently and go from there. And that's what it is. That's what it is. So again, your dollars mean a lot. It could be one, it could be 10, it could be 20, whatever you can get. It doesn't matter at this point. Give what you can. Make it mean something. Make it worthwhile. Because as you and I both know, hey, these bills these days ain't no joke. You got to pay up and out the ass. And we're talking about just these medical finances alone. Medicaid, Medicare, whatever is all a joke. Don't get me started on that. It's all a long con to keep us out of pocket. But it is what it is what it is. Big farm being what it is, and we have to do our best to contribute or not contribute to pay to keep going. Got literally pay to play. It's ridiculous. Let's see. Well, I can't do two things at one time, so I have to check on a couple of things here. So let me see. Okay, let's see. Okay, we'll put that there. Yeah. So again, as we continue on the path of raising money for Lee Michaels' son Corey, and again, once he shows up, he'll give us the update on what's going on with him. Again, I told you before, I put on social media when we got the word about some updates, but of course, having Lee come on and do it and checking in with him. So again, you out there can do your best, and your best is to donate. So again, GoFundMe.com. Search for Lee Michaels' name, Lee Michaels. Also, I forgot to mention you could Zelle Lee at iRadioCoach at gmail.com. Again, that's iRadioCoach, all one word, at gmail.com. And make that happen. So you have all these ways to contribute. You have, of course, GoFundMe and Zelle him as well. No excuse. No excuse at all. I believe in you, and I know you can make it happen. Like I said before, very simple, very easy. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. To help out people is something that I believe you have to be born with or come into the knowledge of. Because again, people who cannot do it, okay, that's fine. Life goes on. No harm, no foul. Some people can do it. Some people won't do it because they have that choice to be that, to not to do so. So the people I'm calling on are people who do want to help and contribute to this cause. Those people I'm talking to. And it just means the world to a lot of people when you see other people help. I told you we're living in strange days. Strange days indeed. Most peculiar, mama. Whoa. And regardless of the strange things we've seen and continue to see, it's great to know about humans being human. Human beings helping each other. Dare I say, human beings even loving each other. And that's where we are now in its capacity. It's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful thing. So when we gather to do this, it's just being human. I think some of us forgot how to be human, if that makes sense. We've forgotten to be human. You look around society right now, and it comes to certain people that we see on an everyday basis, or watch the news, or see on television. What kind of human beings are they? And of course, you get the list of what you think is up with them. Having agendas, having all types of lies, having all types of confusion, all of confusion. Doesn't have to be that way at all. Not at all. Things can make sense when it does make sense. And there's some people out here don't have the sense God gave a grapefruit. But I think it is mandatory to be human. But then that person or persons redefine what it is to be human. And the commonality gets lost. They have their own agendas, their own state of minds, and that happens all the time. I don't know about you, but when I do see some form of compassion, some form of love out there, whether it's out there or in my own home, especially in my own home, that gives me hope. Again, I told you before on other programs, I think about my grandchildren, my nephew and niece. I think about them and the future that awaits them. And you still want that love and compassion and just being human. I mean, who doesn't want that? So for that to happen, for that to continue, continues hope. And there's sometimes, depending on who you are, that's the last thing you may be able to hold on to, and that's hope. And that's where we are now in this situation. hoping Corey continues to recover, hoping that we raise money in this situation, hoping that there will be peace in the Lee Michaels family. Sometimes hope is a powerful thing. You must hold on to it. You must grab it. You must embrace it. You must use it. And hope is where we are right now, hoping you would donate. Again, to donate, GoFundMe.com, search for the name Lee Michaels. You can Zelle Lee as well at iRadioCoach. Not dot, Jesus Christ. iRadioCoach at gmail.com. Try again for the cheap seats. iRadioCoach at gmail.com. All right, let's do that. There you go. I was trying to get ahead of myself. I saw the com, and I was like, okay, com. Again, Zelle, iRadioCoach at gmail.com. As we continue on. So, once again, you can do this. Don't think you can't, because you can. Don't doubt yourself, because you're better than that. Every little bit helps. There's not more to say or do or say. That's what you got to do. So the people that can give, the people that want to give, just do it. Just do it. That's the main thing. It's not pressure. Nobody trying to give you a full court press. You have the option to do or not. But I'm talking about the people who want to and can. It's not a question of when, it's a question of of now. And to do it like right now, which is why we congregate, this is why we're here. As Jamie Foxx said, as Ray Charles and Ray, I'm gonna make it do what it do. You can make it do what it do by donating. I'll make it do what it do, baby. Yeah. You can do that. So it's not like you can't, but you can. For those out there in the comment section, you have some thoughts and prayers for Lee. Please type them. I know Omar had one, and that's great. For the rest of you out there, don't just look at me, and you don't want to do that. Keep your eyes closed. But you can always comment in the comment section. Let everybody know how you feel about Lee and his family, and then we can read it off when Lee gets here. He can see it for himself. So, you have any kind words for Lee and his family, please type in the comment section there, and let him know that you're out there. It does help. I'm telling you, it goes a long way. Sometimes less is more. Really, sometimes less is more. And what I mean by that is, we're not talking about anything lavish. These words do mean a lot. And it does go a long way. A long way indeed. Speaking of words, here's a man right here. There's a lot of words all the time. Sometimes nice, sometimes not. The man is a Gemini. He's also known as Uber Lee. If you piss him off, please welcome to, of course, the special here, Lee Michaels. Hey, Lee, how you doing, man?
I'm hanging loose like a broke neck goose. I don't know what that means, but that's how I feel.
Well, it sounds
You,
good.
have you ever seen a broke neck goose?
No, no, I have not.
He, he's in pain.
I've seen the
He's
broke neck
hanging
Negro.
out. A broke neck what?
I seen a broke neck Negro before.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a lot of those around.
Right, right.
Lot, a
A
whole lot.
lot, oh
How
lot.
about a
Well, good.
busted up ear wanna be president?
Oh, look, man. Look, it's up to you want to get into it because this is your time. Well, first of all, before we get into all of that, because I can't get that 92 minutes back. But when I'm glad you're here. Obviously, you know we all love and appreciate you. What's the update with Corey?
Corey is out of the hospital. He's doing okay. We are in LA now, and we were under the understanding that we were going to be able to get him with a hospital here, but it hasn't turned out to be so easily because of insurance issues.
Okay.
So now we have to get private insurance in California in order for him to get to a burn unit or hospital that has a burn unit. There's only three in LA.
Mm-hmm.
And so he's without the medical care that he needs right now because of that insurance issue. So we're trying to get him with a PPO type insurance so he can go to any place he wants to because none of the burn centers will take an HMO.
Mm,
So it's complicated to say the least.
right.
And he needs care right now, physically and psychologically, because he's still going through the trauma
Right.
from the massive car fire that he was involved in.
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where the whole situation is right now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm trying to work through the maze here and get all that done as quickly as possible.
Mm-hmm.
And as you know, insurance is not cheap.
No, it's not.
So we found a plan. I think it's Blue Cross that has no deductible, but the monthly is about $777. So
Mm,
that's what we're in the process of getting nailed down. But even if we bought it today, it wouldn't be covered until next month. So we still got a wait period
yeah.
in order for him to get the medical attention that he needs. And right now, he was burned. For those who don't know, he was in a car fire. We still don't know what caused the fire yet. But 50% of his body, the front half of his body, all the way down to almost his ankles, both legs, thighs, stomach area, chest, neck, and from the cheek down on his face, more on the right side because that's where the majority of the fire was coming from.
Mm,
But even on the left side of his face and both of his ears were burned. The right side burned a little more than the left.
mm,
Um, so then the other 50% of his body has been used for grafts, taking a scan from that part of his body to put on the body part of his body that was badly burned. So that whole healing process, I guess, from my understanding and what he's going through right now, the healing goes through phases. The majority of the wounds have healed, but now what's happening is blistering. The skin blisters, and those blisters pop, and then that opens up another sore.
mm,
So my wife and I are having to give him wound care. We have to dress the wounds and give him a bath every day, and then put on lotion to the skin to keep it, soft and supple.
right.
And so it's a process. So to say the least, mom and dad don't have a lot of time to do anything but take care of our 35-year-old big baby.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I try to find some humor in it, but it's pretty devastating to say the least to the family and to Corey, to say the least.
Well, I mean, I was saying to the people out there, when we first started to do this on a monthly basis, I remember the first time we did it, and we had, of course, Bonnie DeShong on and Zamira Jones. And the one thing that stuck out to me was when you said, "My baby boy,"
Yeah,
and that went a long way with me because, again, as I relate to the audience, I mean, as parents, obviously our children grow up, and it's a blessing to watch them grow up and spread their wings, but they'll forever be our babies, forever.
that's right. And my wife, she is hands on deck 24/7. When I can't do it no more, she's still standing, and I have to give it to her
Yeah,
to have found the strength, and that's mother's love,
absolutely.
and that's her baby boy.
There you go.
So I'm happy that I'm still alive to be able to do what I can do
Mm,
to assist my son. I have an older son. He's George the fourth, and then my daughter, middle child, Sarah.
mm.
And so this is it, man. I mean, I got no more that I know of. Now, I'm sure of that.
Right.
Yeah, I'm sure of that because every time I had a kid, I married her, married the mama. So I'm an honorable guy in that respect.
There you go. Right.
Everything else, I suck like rocks.
It's like, yeah, I want to make an honest person of you and
Y-
myself. Right. Let's get
Yeah,
married. Right.
that's right. That's right. Exactly.
Ooh, wait.
So
So,
that's kind of in a nutshell where things are. We just moved into a little larger place because we needed three bedrooms.
hmm
Corey has his own bedroom. He lives with us now,
hmm
and so we had to make change the accommodation so that he'll be comfortable, and then I could have a the third bedroom for guests and or my office/studio, so I get back on the air and chop it up with you and the boys.
oh man, that'll be great. Barbara
Yeah,
Jean, Barbara Jean got some laughing emojis. I guess when you mentioned about the children you don't know of.
man. Yeah, that's right. I don't know. I don't know about them. At least they haven't contacted me, so I guess I'm cool in the game.
They have not come forth with.
Mm-mm. And if they haven't come out by now, too bad.
Too bad, too sad.
Too bad, so sad. You're
Right.
grown and on your own.
That's right.
That I
Oh,
know.
well, well, I know you're a political junkie, and I know that's not what we're here for. But I don't care because this is for, of course, you and your family. So, um, and I'm glad you're here because I said I'll have you on a separate program, but we could chop a little bit about now. So again, the RNC completed this week. You want to call it that? They had their pomp and circumstance, and had Lee Greenwood trying to sing, and he can't sing. So that whole thing was going on. Trump last night took the nominee as being for the presidential nominee for the RNC for the Republican side.
Yeah, yeah.
The concession speech was, they said, clocked at 92 seconds, the longest in history. Did you see any of it? And what's your take, sir?
I did not see any of his speech. I heard or seen bits and pieces from the sound bites, and it's no question that the Republican Party has finally realized they got to start kissing some ass to minorities because they cannot win without them. However, I think in my heart and my gut, I feel that the minorities that they think they have now reached, I don't think it's as big as they think or hope or pray for.
Mm-hmm.
Because all the minorities that I've been talking to, and I see them on TV and hear them on radio popping up every now and then. But anybody with an IQ 2 points above plant life has got to understand that Donald Jackass J. Trump is a criminal. He is a narcissist. He is an egotistical maniac, lying over 30,000 lies that we know of in the past 5, 6, 7, 8 years.
Hmm.
Now, if you're going to lie that much, you are a bona fide liar. Ain't no doubt about it. You can't erase that fact. You are a compulsive liar. You will lie about every damn thing. And they're lying now. They're talking about they want to unite the country. Well, why haven't you done that in the last 100 years? Why haven't you done that since the Republican Party changed and went straight up redneck, selfish? If you're not white, you ain't right. You ain't a part of what's going down. And I've said it before, the average white male and females, a lot of females at that convention, I don't understand that. When they're talking about taking all your rights from you, whether or not you want to have a child or not,
Exactly.
depending on the complications, it doesn't matter. You got to bear a child, even if your uncle raped you. Come on,
Right.
man.
Incest and everything else. Yeah.
Come on. This makes no damn sense. Again, like I said, anybody with an IQ 2 points above plant life got to understand that this guy is not right. He's a liar. He's not going to live up to what he promised. The only reason Trump is running again is to keep his own ass out of jail. Look at his record. Look at all the cabinet members that have been indicted. Many have been gone to prison more than any president in history have surrounded themselves with criminals. And you got to be stupid to want to be a part of his parade, his circus. And this damn fool from Ohio, why would he want to be the VP of a guy who is a criminal? And he talked about Donald Trump like he was a dog, worse than a dog. And he was telling the truth. But then he's going to backpedal and want to suck up to Donald Trump now to be the VP. Well, my friend, I hope you don't win, because if you do, he's going to piss on you like he did with Pence. This ain't about you. It
Hmm.
ain't about me. It ain't about the United States of America. It's about how bad Donald Trump can pimp America, take the advantage of it for his own benefit. The only reason he ran again is to keep his ass out of jail and to continue what he did in his 4 years. He won another 4 years so he could become a real dictator. So him and his gangster leaders from around the country, the little mental midget up in North Korea, Putin, and all the rest of them, he wants to lock arms with them because he thinks they care about him. They really don't.
No.
They're pimping him to get to America, and he's over there talking to these people. Today, I heard it. I heard a news clip that he's going to contact the head guy over in the Ukraine, and he's going to settle the damn war. Well, first of all, it's not appropriate for you to overstep the current president and go and do open up some dialogue and work around the State Department and everybody else and try to do your thing. Why? Because he has to do something. He has to perform a miracle in order to win over the people that he needs to vote. That's the problem, man. This guy is a loose cannon. Do you think he picked up the phone and says, "Hey, Biden, listen, man. I mean what I'm saying about uniting the country and all of that. Would you allow me to help you in Ukraine?" You think he had that conversation?
No.
Absolutely not.
No. Not at all.
Biden was a gentleman and very presidential by reaching out to him when he took the shot in the ear. Now I'll tell you, he's Teflon Don. He's the luckiest mofo I know. If his head was turned the other way and that shot came off, it would have been a bullet in the ear, or if he had just stepped to the right a little bit, that bullet would have hit him right in the eyeball. So he is one lucky guy. But any president when the Secret Service come in and cover you, you don't get up and start pumping your fists and acting like you're in the WWE or something. No, you don't do that. You're
Right.
supposed to follow the instructions of the Secret Service and keep your dumb ass down. They're putting their lives on the line. They're saying, I'll take a bullet for you, Mr. President, and you're going to stick your head up to be a target. Lucky for him that they had already taken out the shooter.
Right.
But if that kid, that 20-year-old kid, was a real sharpshooter, if he had some real military training
Hmm.
behind that rifle, Donald Trump would be SOS, shit out of
Yeah.
luck.
I agree.
He would have been gone. He should be humble. He should be kissing everybody's behind, and he ought to find Jesus. He's not a Christian. Number one,
Hmm.
he's sucking up to the evangelicals, saying what they want to hear. He
Right.
could give a damn. When was the last time you saw him in a church? Maybe at a funeral. You
Please.
don't go to church.
No, of course not.
I don't
It's
care
all
what
for.
your religion is. As a president, if you're going to be some type of religious or spiritual man, you're going to go to some kind of re- ceremony, religious services of some kind on your
Right.
own.
Right.
Every
It's
president in my lifetime did.
what. The more I keep, when I was watching the video of the assassination attempt, I don't believe it. I believe it was staged. Just his reaction time. Everybody on the social media, has no. They don't give two damns. The what they call the ketchup packet that he
Yeah,
held on the side of his ear and everything else. As
yeah.
you said before, most people, if this, let's say, okay, just for shits and giggles, that it was not. But if it was real, like you said, nobody's trying to pump their fist in the air, like the way like they just don't care about fight, fight, fight. Or most people, it was assassination attempt, would not talk about where's my shoe or things like
Well,
that. He
that
was
shows
asking
you
for,
where his priority is. It's all about
exactly,
pimping,
exactly.
pimping the media, pimping the public, showing that he's a tough guy. I bet he's shitting his pants.
Well, yeah, I
I
mean,
bet that I bet that the pens he has on was full of shit.
all, and probably some intestines.
I bet that's why they didn't keep him down too long because he was stinking.
Oh, this night he stank to be damned.
I would have shit in my pants.
Yeah,
Somebody
right.
hit me in the ear. I was like, oh my god, I was almost dead.
Thank you.
An inch and a half, 2 inches at the most. Your skull would have been all over the stage.
Look, but that's why something the smell test doesn't hit, because if it was, I'm just saying this, if it was a real assassin's bullet, usually with certain people, and I know Trump is a whole different thing altogether, but some people, like you said before, will humble themselves, look at their lives differently. I could have been taken out. I got more work to do, and be humble. He can't do that. It's not in his nature to do so.
No,
So he
it's
gets
not in
hit.
his
And then
DNA.
what in the entire hell was that sticky note that he had on the side of his ear when he went to the RNC? Like someone put a damn sticky note, just bam, and it's not even a bandage after your ear was so called
Yeah,
taken off. So he got this. He got
I've heard all kind of responses on that.
man.
One
He got the
one lady said it was a Kotex cut in
yes.
half, and I mean, I've heard all kind of comments on. But listen, okay, I'm not a conspiracy theorist,
Yeah.
but here's what I think happened.
Okay.
I think this kid up on the roof was trying to take him out.
Okay.
There's no doubt in my mind about that.
Okay.
What Where it fell apart was the Secret Service, CIA, FBI, the local police, and the Boy Scouts of America dropped the ball.
Okay.
They were not thinking 150 yards, 130 yards, whatever it was, that far out.
Right.
They didn't lock down all the roofs of all the other buildings that were nearby.
Right.
So that's where the ball dropped. So I blame mainly the Secret Service because that's their job. That the advanced team sometimes goes in 2 weeks or even more advanced than that to ensure that everything is locked down. They look at every angle, every possibility, and they lock it down.
Yeah, they do
Well,
a they
obviously,
do a major sweep, a major sweep.
yeah. So that failed. That did not happen to the degree that it should have.
Hmm.
So that's where I see the problem. I don't think it was a setup unless the setup could have been the Secret Service got tired of his dumb ass and
Well,
said, "Hey, look, we're not gonna worry about that over there. And if something happens, so be it." That's a possibility
okay,
because I'm sure they got to be sick of him. And I'm saying, "Look, why am I putting my life on the line protecting this damn fool? He don't give a damn about me or the
right,
people in this country. It's all about him."
that's
Then the
right.
other thing, where's his wife been? Where's his daughter? Where's the criminal ass son-in-law?
Yeah,
They all been keeping their head very low. The wife came out what last night?
she came out last night. Yes,
Okay, in her red dress, smiling like everything is hunky dory. She
right.
ain't happy.
No, of
That
course
woman
not,
is not happy. She wants to get out of
man.
there as soon as possible. And if he could write a check for about 50 or $100 million to her, she would be history.
Well, look, she ain't going nowhere anytime soon because the check has not bounced on her end. She came out last night, and of course, waving to the crowd and everything else. Certain couples you see, they'll kiss for affection. They kiss on the cheek, and even that is cringeworthy. When you see that, she's like, "Oh, no, kiss me on the lips now. I don't want to get no dragon breath. So just kiss me on the cheek. We'll play it off and things like that." They try to humanize him throughout the week with Trump and his grandchildren, stuff like that. His
Yeah.
grandchildren throughout his other marriages. So if they parade all these people out there, we're going back to the whole pimping thing. And going back, you said about J.D. Vance, all these people kiss the ring of this man, whether it was Ted Cruz or Mark Rubio, people before him, even before JD got on the scene. What gets me is that they talk about him and he talk about them, if not 10 times worse, and all of a sudden they bow out to his so-called orange superiority, which gets, like, for example, Ted Cruz. You want to come after me? Okay, fine. Don't come after my wife.
Yep.
And he's
Don't
done
talk
on
about
numerous
my dad.
occasions.
Yep.
Right. And his dad and everything else. He came after the man's family. And so,
Yeah.
yet, but see, the Republicans come off very spineless, clueless, and they don't have the sense God gave a grapefruit. So they would rather, as they have been, falling in line. Stop calling the Republican Party is the party of Trump. All in,
Oh, no question about that.
all in.
He owns all parts of the Republican Party, good, bad, and indifferent. There
Right.
have only been a handful of Republicans that have walked away from the party. People like Mitt Romney and what have you. They're saying, "Hey, look,
Hmm.
I've had enough. I cannot float in this boat. I'm out of here. I
Right.
don't want to be associated with these fools, with these criminals.
Right.
I'm walking out clean." And I admire those guys. I just wish they had stayed in and convinced some of these other morons. I mean, look at the current Republican Party. Uh, Marjorie Taylor Greene. Then the what's the girl's name up in Arizona? No, Denver, Colorado. She moved from one district to another because she knew she couldn't win.
Hmm.
Uh, Bobbitt, Bobbitt, what's her name? The one that was in the movie theater giving a hand job to a boyfriend.
Right. I forgot a idea about
I mean, come on, that's the Republican Party.
Yeah.
That and they have no morals, and they want
None.
to criticize somebody else about being a Christian. That's not a Christian.
No.
I was born and raised in a Baptist church. My grandfather was a Baptist preacher. My grandmother was the mother of the church. I mean, come on, that never happened.
No,
None of that.
not at
You
all.
would be ostracized from the planet Earth if somebody in our church would do something crazy like that.
Exactly. Exactly.
No, wouldn't happen. So these so-called evangelicals and all that, they, they're, they're nuts. They're
We're going to,
using the Bible the wrong way.
of course,
Their interpretation is screwed up.
it's big time. Let me go to
I
the
mean,
comment section real quick. Let me see. Barbara Jean types about what was that 92 minutes total. What's that? Gas bag. Yeah, I didn't watch any part of that. Uh, that sugar show of the convention. Yeah, I look as I said to my mother, if I was not doing a talk show, I would not even watched it at all. It was all for research, but I can't get that back. Oh my God, it hurts my soul. Let's see. Diane Hawkins says he goes to the golf course. Yeah, I mean, look, the man obviously does not care about country
no,
first, about party first, but it was all about him. So
that's
that's
it.
what it's all about.
Absolutely.
Annabelle, Annabelle says sending prayers to Mr. Michaels' family.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. You can go to, you can support the cause to help my son and my family through this long journey by going to GoFundMe.com, and you can search my name, Lee Michaels, and the page will come up. Or you can do a Zelle to iradiocoach at gmail.com. It'll go straight into the same bank account that's connected to the GoFundMe, and that money it goes directly to benefit Corey and his journey. So anything that you can give, large or small, that it would be appreciated.
Absolutely. And another thing that I get was since we talked about something about Trump and the whole politics thing. So, of course, the Democrats running around chickens with their head cut off. They want to get rid of President Biden and put somebody else on the ticket before November. We've seen high profile Democrats, like Nancy Pelosi and Chuck Schumer and Hakeem Jeffries, have gone to Biden to ask him to step down. What's your take on all that going on?
Well, I think it's kind of late in the game. Number one, I'm nervous about the idea of him stepping down. Listen, I understand that he's got some issues and everything, but no president. Well, a president is only as good as his cabinet. We've already seen proof of that.
Hmm.
Look at the, and I don't know the number off the top of my head, but I think it was like 30 people that have been indicted from the former cabinet of Trump.
Hmm.
Um, let's look at Obama. Zero.
Right.
Zero.
Hmm.
The Bushes had a small number. But when you go back and look at all the presidents in recent time, nobody has a record like Donald Trump. All his cabinet members that he surrounded himself with were poor choices. He's not a brilliant man. He's not a great businessman,
No.
bankrupt 6 times, owe millions of dollars still today to people that did work for him and various businesses that he's had. Some
Hmm.
are gone, some are still around, and he still owe people money. He won't pay them for the work that they've done. What
Right.
kind of human being is that? That's a criminal. He has no
Right.
intention in being honest, open, fair, and a worthy person. No. It's how can I screw this guy? Yeah, I signed a contract for $5 million to build this building or whatever, but I'm not gonna pay him that. And then I'll threaten to sue him for doing a bad job. And we'll tie it up in court for 10 years and I'll never pay him.
Right.
If I do pay him, I'll settle for pennies on the dollar. That's horrible.
It is
That's not a good man. That's not a good human. That's a cheater. And we know he does that
all the time.
all the time. Personal life, business life. He's a
Right.
cheater. Want
Yep.
to take advantage of people, hurt people. not help people. Well, they're coming after you, but they're coming through me to get to you. The fear tactics
Yeah.
that he and the Republican Party uses is shameful. It's sinful. That's why I could never vote for a Republican. They've got too much bad history in my lifetime, and I just can't. I'm like Hall and Oates. I can't go for that.
Well, I'll tell you something. Excuse me. I never seen anything like this in my lifetime. The Trump and the Trumpites and how the Republican Party just bend down to the will, excuse me, of a Donald Trump and what he represents, and it doesn't make any sense. But it's gotten to the point where there's certain people out there who just want to see the world burn. They don't care about themselves. They don't care about
That's
the
true.
future. All they want to do is get in line with someone who they think would give them power. So some people see Trump and they feel empowered, but Trump will give the damn about you. So that's what gets me. What it is different if you follow somebody and you get something out of it, and what they get out of it is they live vicariously through him. And but in the long run, they're just there for numbers. They're just there for
Hmm.
votes.
Hmm.
Once again, to keep him out of hock, so he won't go into the pokey. Well, he'll never have been to prison. He may do the ankle bracelet at Mar-a-Lago, but still, the point of being sentenced. So he's trying
Yeah.
to avoid that by staying in office for the rest of his
Yeah.
remaining days. So that's what he
Absolutely.
wants to do on day one, dictate on day one. So it's not like he hasn't told you what he is. But my dad always said, when a person show you their ass, that's who they are.
That's right. Believe it.
Yeah,
Don't
absolutely.
question it. Believe it. But
Absolutely.
here's the thing. Let's look at it a little. Let's do a deep dive on it.
Okay.
Donald Trump is the nominee for the Republican Party to become the president of the United States a second time around.
Mm-hmm.
If that's the best that the Republican Party has, that doesn't say much at all. That shows you how weak. And he was allowed to rip apart everybody that tried to go campaign against him. He ripped him to shreds. Why? Because he acts like a street thug. He doesn't talk about policies. He doesn't talk about exactly what he's going to do. It's always surface bullshit.
Right.
Well, we're gonna make America great again. When was it better? What are we going back to?
Right.
Well, we're gonna build a wall. How are you gonna build a wall? Why are you building this wall? Well, to keep out criminals. So they use fear tactics, scare the piss out of Americans,
Mm-hmm.
and keep banging those negative messages over and over and over again until they convince those people that are not really paying attention. They're just listening to Fox and all these other crazy right wing conspiracy theories, nutball whack jobs, and that's what they run with. They regurgitate everything they hear from these talking heads,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a shame. I mean, I'm ashamed of America. The way so many people, not the majority, it's just enough to cause a wave of chaos.
There you go.
That's all it is, a
Yeah.
wave of chaos.
No, you're right. And when I was watching the shit show last night, and Trump got up there. So once again, before he got up there, he talked about all this unity thing. We all know that unity and Trump don't go together, so we know that. So
Right.
he gets up there and he's slows his cadences down, and he's reliving what happened on Saturday about the assassination attempt. And to, I guess, the average person who haven't really seen Trump, you would think that he would be sincere, that he sounds sincere, and they go say stuff like I shouldn't be here. Oh, but this is what gets me. So one of the people that had died in this situation, unfortunately, was a firefighter. So they
Right.
roll out the firefighter's uh, jacket, his coat, and his helmet. So they rolled out there, on like a little gurney thing with shoulders and everything else, kind of like a half mannequin. So they rolled out there, right? So in the middle of his speech, Trump walks over to it, puts his hands on the shoulders of the coat, of the fireman's coat, and kisses the fireman's helmet.
It's a
Dude had
show.
right,
It's
no
all it
shame
is.
whatsoever, none,
None.
none whatsoever. And then
Like
after,
he's trying to show that he gives a damn about this guy.
oh my god! And then after he does that spiel, he gets back to the podium and goes right into full on Trump. So it became one of his Trump rallies again. I'm going to build a wall. Excuse me, Sleepy Joe, all this stuff, and everything. He went right into that rhetoric because that's all he's got. Nothing new. It was the same old playbook he said years ago.
Exactly. They said he was going to be on the teleprompter, and I said, well, he'll be on it for a few minutes because he can't stay on message
Right,
that's provided for him.
right.
The few people that are associated with his campaign might have some pretty good ideas or some good rhetoric for him to say,
Hmm.
but he can't stick with it.
No, you can't.
He can't.
Not
It's
at
not
all.
in his DNA.
You can't do it.
Mm-mm.
You can't do it. So no, that whole thing was goddamn ridiculous, man. That was just. Uh, I even bothered watching the other stuff. I guess they had, not guess, but they had on Hulk Hogan, Dana White from MMA and stuff like that. US and all these, all these people getting a check. That's pretty much what it
All
is.
these
As long,
burnouts.
man, as long as the check clears, man, it don't matter because you got Lee Greenwood up there singing all week, and there's nothing entertaining about it. They got the country stuff going on, so they're trying to send a message about all this country stuff, like redneck stuff and everything else. It's subliminal, and it just gets
Right.
to a point where if I was undecided, I'd still be undecided. I mean, how can you side with someone you saw like last night or throughout the week was just ridiculous? And it wasn't even trying to
Nearby.
give a message of unity or trying
Mm.
to let people know that we're here for you. We're trying to mend the fences. No, you're going to keep the fences burning because that's what you do. You go back to chaos. Let's see, real quick. Let's go out to the comment section. Let's see. He never called the firefighters' family. Biden did, and the wife didn't want to sit, well, didn't want to talk to him. He said her husband was a loyal Trump supporter. This is from Diane. So see this type of stuff going on, man.
Well, but what that shows you is the grave disrespect to the current president. She didn't want to talk to Biden.
No, she didn't want to talk to Biden, right?
I mean, that's just disrespectful. I mean,
Yeah,
forget about your political beefs. The president of the United States took the time to call you to give condolences and show love and support,
right.
regardless of your political beliefs.
Hmm.
You take the call.
Yeah,
Starting route to the Home Depot. In 3/4 of a mile, turn right to merge onto I-405 North toward Santa Monica.
yeah.
We're going to the Home Depot.
Oh, okay, yeah. Make sure you
I,
turn right.
on the 405.
Right,
Okay.
Going north.
Going north. Okay, we're
going
going
north.
north on the 405 here in about half a mile or whatever. But here's the thing.
Yeah,
That's disregard, disrespect
yes,
for your current president. You don't have to vote for him. You take the call and you say, "Thank you, Mr. President. I
right,
appreciate you him and showing the love," and that's called respect. And he didn't have to do it. He knew your husband was a Trump supporter. He could
right,
have said, "Screw him." He didn't. He
right,
did the honorable thing, just like he did the honorable thing of calling Trump and say, "Hey, man, I'm sorry you got a shot in the ear." He didn't have to
right.
do that. He could have been.
No, not at
He could
all.
have been political and say, "Hey, too bad, so sad."
Right.
He didn't do that. He did the right thing. But Trump
He
doesn't
did.
have it in him.
No,
You think
he
Trump would have
doesn't.
would have done it? No.
Oh no,
If he
no,
did it at all, it wouldn't have been him. It would have been somebody from the cabinet calling.
right.
He wouldn't do that.
No, it's not in him. Also,
Hmm.
real quick, Diane had typed. She says supporting the cause, supporting your cause. So she made some donations to you.
Thank you, Diane. Thank you. My family appreciates it, and Corey needs it. You sitting here in the car with me, Corey. Can I turn the phone over? Huh? Sure. Okay. I am gonna give you guys a shot of Corey. I'm gonna give him the phone so he can hold it up. You grab it.
All right, there
Hello.
he is, Corey. How you doing, man? Good to see you.
I'm surviving. Taking one day at a time.
Absolutely, absolutely. And do me a favor, help your father out. When he goes to Home Depot. He know the hell he's doing when he gets there.
I'm trying to be his co-pilot.
Yes, be his co-pilot, yeah, because he needs help. And tell him to stay
I
away
do.
from the hot dog. Tell him stay away from the hot dog vendor.
I've been looking for one. They really don't have a lot of hot dog places. Costco. Costco. Well, yeah, Costco. But those hot dogs they're good for a buck and a half. You get a hot dog and a 20-ounce drink. But a hot dog to me is not cooked long enough. I think they sell them too fast.
Oh, okay,
But
you
it
don't
is
want
a
that.
good deal.
That is.
Yeah, it's a good deal. What exit are we taking? Rosecrans. Yeah. Rosecrans. That's behind us, I think. But anyway, Corey is in my shotgun here, and he really can't come out in the sunlight without sunscreen because it would
Right.
damage the skin and what have you. But
Mm-hmm.
um, are you giving it back to me? Oh, okay. He said it hurts to even hold the phone. His
I
hands are
understand.
in gloves, to keep the swelling down and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
He's got bandages on his forearm and all the way up to his um, shoulder and legs as well. And it's a process. It's a
Yes.
routine that we go through every day. Changing bandages and washing the wounds.
Mm-hmm.
It's not easy. You know, People don't understand when you have older parents until you have to go through that. The caretaker's job is not easy.
No, it's
Not
not.
easy. I took care of my mom when I was about 11, 12, 13 years old until my dad died. I used to get up every morning before going to school and shave my dad. He wanted to
Mm.
shave every day. My dad was 76 years old when he died, and he put a suit and tie on every day. Didn't go out of the house, but he was dressed up every day, and he wanted to be shaved. So
Right.
he taught me how to shave him, and that's what I did. So, but my reason for bringing that up, people who are good people and they care about their parents, they'll do what they have to do. I
Mm-hmm.
took my mom out of a nursing home, brought her to Chicago, and extended her life according to her doctors. Said if it wasn't for what you did, your mom would have died 2 years ago.
Mm.
Because I was there with her every day and I made sure she took her medicine. She got her doctor's appointments on time and all
Mm-hmm.
the things that you need to do. Make sure she ate correctly and bathed and, the health care
Yes.
and the mental support. So, but it's taxing. It's not easy.
No, it's not.
It's not easy. So I appreciate and I salute anyone that has to take care of someone, whether young or old, and the commitment of doing that is that's what it is, the commitment. So Corey,
Absolutely.
when you get fixed up here and you're back to normal, Corey wants to run for the presidency, by the way. 2 years. In 2 years.
Oh, sh-
It can't be 2 years.
Well, it's a 2-year process.
Yeah. Well, okay. You're gonna start
2 years.
campaigning 2 years from now.
Yeah.
All right. Well, you better get right. Make it right.
Yeah.
Okay.
So you heard it here first.
On the Chris Bay Show, breaking news: Corey
Cor-
Halstead running
Corey
for the
Holster running for the
presidency.
presidency. Hey,
Yep,
And we'll win it.
and gonna win it.
oh look, I,
In
look,
it to win it.
look, Corey, I'll take you now. I'll take you now, Doc.
We don't have to wait, huh?
Yeah, we
Maybe
have to
it'll be
wait at
on this
all.
list of Democrats that they trying to figure out who to take Biden down with. I mean, going back to that for a quick
Yeah,
minute here,
sure.
I don't like the idea of changing horses in the middle of the stream.
You
I don't
What?
like it either.
U-turn? I missed it.
this year.
Well, my co-pilot screwed up.
Oh,
You sitting over there eating candy. You're supposed to be giving me directions. I'm live on the air, doing a live. That's what
live.
people say. I'm getting ready to go live, but this is my live. Anyway, um,
Southgate.
oh, it's Southgate? Okay.
Make a left.
Make
Right.
a left?
Left at the light.
Okay, I see it over there. That's Hobby Lobby.
This is the one we went to.
We didn't go to a Hobby
Home
Lobby.
Home Depot.
Okay.
I bet I
Hobby Lobby. So, damn, what was I talking about?
You was talking about the Democrats trying to
Switching
replace Biden.
Yeah, I don't think it's a good idea. I think it's too damn late for that. You ride the horse that you've been riding on.
Exactly.
You make it happen. You get behind him. You know, one thing the Republicans do well is they stick on the narrative. They stick with their people, like they're sticking with Donald Trump.
Right.
And I don't give a damn what the polls say right now. I think it's a mistake to change in the middle of the stream like this. I like Kamala. I think she can do the job, and there's polls that say that she would beat Trump, but she'll beat him anyway if she's on the ticket. You know,
Yeah.
it's about the team. The presidency is not about the man, one man.
The team that knows something.
It's a team.
Mhm.
It's who make it right here.
Keep going.
It's a team that you surround yourself with,
Correct.
the advisors, the
Cabinet.
different cabinet members. That's what makes a president strong.
Right.
You sit down in that Oval Office and you have these deep dive meetings. You rely on the research and the opinions that you get from your cabinet members that you hire to go out and make sure you're bringing the right information to the president,
hmm
and then he or she sits there and they make a decision based on the information. Yeah, he makes the
Right.
final decision, but if the information coming to you is flawed, then you're going to make bad decisions. If the people you hired are criminals, what are you going to get? You're going to get bad information.
Right.
So I wish people would stop talking about how old he is. And you know what? If we all keep living, we're going to be his age.
hmm
You know, I'm 74 years old, and to a lot of people, I'm old as hell. And maybe you're right. But the shit I forgot about, a lot of the young people don't know. And if you sit down and listen and listen to what I got to say, you might learn something.
True.
That's how I got to where I was successful. I learned
Mhm.
from some of the old people, some of the people that were ahead of me in the broadcast business. I didn't look at him and say, oh man, that's old school. I ain't paying that man no mind. He didn't come a long way and become successful by being a damn fool or an idiot. So you learn from those who have had success,
Exactly.
not from those who have had no success, and more importantly, failure. And sometimes you got to fail at a few things to learn something. Every
Lee,
now
you
and then
mentioned
a failure ain't bad.
Lee, you mentioned a couple of times. Who was the guy you said that hired you twice in California? Like, I think it was KDIA or something like that.
Yep. Well, the program director was Keith Adams. The general manager was Kearney L. Anderson. And I was hired twice by several people in the business. So that I must have been doing something right
Right.
for them to hire me again,
And was you said it was Keith?
sometimes a
You
third
said it was.
time.
I'm sorry, it was Keith Andrews.
Keith Adams,
Adams. Okay, gotcha. Okay,
yeah,
Adams.
and Kearney Anderson. Kearney hired me in Oakland at KDIA, and he hired me in Chicago
Mm-hmm.
at BMX, and then he hired me at WBLS in New York. So I
Was,
mean that's a testimonial right there. I
well,
was
let me
hired
say that.
twice at Radio One.
Well, see, but see, that goes back to the testimony of who you are and your nature and how you comported yourself when you worked there, and people saw that and
Hmm.
knew about that and wanted to bring that same element back again when they rehired you. So, obviously, I know you're on the road. Of course, no once again, always great to see you. It's fantastic to see Corey out and about. Before you part company, more words to people out there to help your cause.
Well, we appreciate. We need some financial help. We need some prayers still. We need your emotional support, friends, people I don't know. I don't mind, talking to people. And Corey is very humble. He appreciates the donations that we've had because it's helped us get him to where he is now. And now we're in another journey, a transition of going from the hospital in Colorado. We had to leave there to come back here because this is where I make money in Los Angeles with my limo service. So
Right.
for almost 3 months, I couldn't work. So that took a toll on me personally, my family, my bills. So I had to get back to LA to get back to work so I can support my family.
That's right.
And the monies that we're trying to raise now will help Corey with insurance payments and the doctor visits and all the things that come along with it and the long term care. We'd like to get to a point where my wife and I can get a little bit of a break and maybe have someone come in to help us,
Hmm.
um, with the day to day care that Corey needs. That kind of burns that he had, Corey had some fourth degree burns, right?
No.
Third, all third,
Second and third.
second and third. Okay, I thought they
No.
thought it was a fourth degree. It was second and third degree burns. It's severe, you know. The amount of tissue and flesh and stuff that was taken off Corey. I mean, off of it,
50%.
50%. That's This is
Mm,
crazy. That's
right.
a lot. How much weight have you lost?
50 pounds.
50 pounds.
Mm,
So burn wounds are straight up serious.
that's right.
Can be really really hard on your body, and the recovery time is slow. The swelling, the pain, the itching, the sensitivity that you once had you don't have yet. You
Hmm.
may never get it all back. Uh, cold
Regulating body temperature.
body temperature regulation is crazy.
Mm.
My wife and I like it cool, and it's like chilling to him. We have to turn the air off.
Oh man.
So it's a lot of adjustments that has to be made, especially at this early recovery period. So it's I've never been this close to anybody with these type of burns. I had a cousin that was in a horrible fire as well,
Hmm.
more severe. I think he was burned about 80% of his body.
Oh man.
And but I wasn't around him on a daily basis, so it's just all new to us.
Well,
And
I
I
believe.
sympathize with anybody and any family that's gone through something like this.
Mhm.
It's hard. It ain't easy.
No, it's not.
It's not
But
easy.
we're definitely with you in spirit. Thoughts and prayers continue for all of you, man. Because again, as you said before, you just have to learn about readjustments and um, uh, refocusing, and everything's changed. Everything's changed on the 180 perspective. So now you have to deal with all of this as you continue on. So everybody out there, you heard what the man said. Don't just sit there and watch this. For those you donated, we appreciate it. For those who continue to donate, please do so. Go to GoFundMe.com and type in Lee Michaels' name, Lee Michaels, and make sure you find that. Make sure you donate. The goal right now is $75,000. Right now, we're at 7,241. And you can also Zelle Lee, iRadioCoach at gmail.com. Again, that's iRadioCoach at gmail.com. So make sure you do that. I think, Lee, you still there, or you already about to break out? Okay, I see the wheel there, so I think we're going to we'll part company on that as we move on. So once again, thank you, Lee, and thank you, Corey, for coming on board. Because once again, he's riding shotgun with Lee today out there in L.A. So as you heard, they moved out to L.A. completely because they were in Denver where Corey was, and now they're all in L.A. getting reacclimated. Once again, we do this once a month. So again, thank you for your time being here and contributing, and just hey, letting him know that he is loved and his family is loved, and that's the main thing. LOVE is what we're trying to get here. So whatever you can contribute, wherever you can donate, it's all taken in love. We thank you so much. Continue to be safe. A programming note, yeah, I will be doing the show tomorrow morning. So, yes, BaseLine will be on tomorrow morning at 7 a.m. Central Time. So, if you happen to be up, you want to get up and go to use the bathroom. And after you get finished using the bathroom, wash your hands. Please check me out. And then, make sure you wash underneath your armpits because that's a prerequisite. We don't allow people who stink to be a part of this program. We do smell you. But again, as always, thank you for being a part of the Charity Cast. And I'll see you tomorrow morning. Continue to be safe, continue to be sound, continue to be healthy, and most importantly, above anything else, continue to be loved. Long live the peace, long live the funk, and more power to you. Good Lord willing, creek don't rise. See you tomorrow morning for